सहनावतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं द्विगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि सद्गुरुं तन्नमामि। हे प्रभो आनंददाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए शीघ्र सारे दुर्गुणों को दूर हमसे कीजिए। दीजिए हमको शरण में हम सदाचारी बने ब्रह्म चिंतक धर्म रक्षक वीर व्रत धारी बने। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए निंदा किसी की हम किसी से भूल कर भी ना करे सत्य बोले झूठ त्यागे मेल आपस में करे। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए प्रेम से हम गुरुजनों की नित्य ही सेवा करें दिव्य जीवन हो हमारा तेरे यश गाया करे। हे प्रभु आनंद दाता ज्ञान हमको दीजिए शीघ्र सारे दुर्गुणों को दूर हमसे कीजिए दूर हमसे कीजिए। कृपांजन भाइयों मेरे कृपांजन भाइयों मेरे भाई राम बिना कछु जानत नाही। कृपांजन अंदर रामा बाहर रामा अंदर रामा बाहर रामा यहाँ देखे वहाँ राम ही रामा यहाँ देखे वहाँ राम ही रामा। कृपांजन भाइयों मेरे भाई राम बिना कछु जानत नाही। कृपांजन जागत रामा सोवत रामा जागत रामा सोवत रामा सपने में देखो राम ही रामा सपने में देखो राम ही रामा। कृपांजन भाइयों मेरे भाई राम बिना कछु जानत नाही। कृपांजन कहत कबीरा अनुभवनी का कहत कबीरा अनुभवनी का जो देखे वो राम सरी का जो देखे वो राम सरी का। कृपांजन भाइयों मेरे भाई राम बिना कछु जानत नाही। कृपांजन 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 श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ। With blessings of Ganesha, Sadguru, and Raman Maharshi, we'll be starting with a new text today of Upadesh Saar. Okay. Those who have got the books, refer to the books. Those who have not got the book, try to get it by next week. Or those who have got it, and if you are on laptop, then Divya has posted it on the mobile. Either way. Okay. So basically, how this book is, I mean, if it's better to start with the life sketch and introduction, everything will be evident there. Instead of me speaking something, it is they are doing it very nicely in the first two chapters. Why Upadesh Sara and life sketch of Ramana Maharshi for those who don't know it. Okay, who has got the book, read it. किसके पास है हाथ ऊपर करो, एक बार समझ में आएगा. दिव्या के पास है, रवि के पास है, और किसके पास है? नहीं. Read someone. Read Ravi. And Divya can read the next chapter. Read Ravi. Life sketch. Pages उसमें दिया, पेज दिए नहीं. Life sketch is before page 1.
Roman numeral 4.
A brief life sketch of the author Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi. Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi was born on 30th December 1879 in Tiruchulli village in Ramnad district of Tamil Nadu. His father, Shri Sundaram Iyer, was a lawyer by profession. His childhood name was Venkata Ramana. Relations and close acquaintances report that from his early childhood, he would go into trance many a times. In reality, he was only introspecting. His deep inborn devotion was centered on the mountain, Arunachala, which is worshipped as the very embodiment of Lord Shiva. Ramana Maharshi's father died when he was very young. Young Ramana did not know then where Arunachala was located, but he knew well that it was his final destination. In 1895, a relative from Madurai informed him that Arunachala was in Tiruvannamalai in Tamil Nadu. A year later, on 29th August 1896, Venkataramana took 3 rupees from his elder brother's fees and left home for Tiruvannamalai. Before leaving home, he left a note asking his family not to waste money in his search. The money for the rail fare was insufficient, and so he pawned his earrings. On reaching Tiruvannamalai, he threw the remaining money into the pond opposite the temple. Having thus renounced all worldly ties, he said words to this effect: "At your command I have come to you." Thus saying, he surrendered totally at the altar of Arunachala. From then on, he never left Tiruvannamalai. He attained Mahanirvana on 14th April 1950 at the age of 70.
50. रुको एक मिनट. 1 minute. There's three things to take. One is what? He had got that urge right from his childhood, Ramana Maharshi. Second one is, can we dare at least to go somewhere without money in our pocket, without GPay, BPay, UPay? जा सकते क्या? He threw everything what he had. So must see that in itself indicates how much faith he had in the Lord at that time also, before starting his sadhana. Therefore he said, at your command I have come to you. And then, and third important point, see, for all of us, he never left Tiruvannamalai till he passed away at the age of 71 in 1950. And one time सब जगह जाने का कुछ जरूरत नहीं. देखो ना इनको. He's the really realized. So where did he want to go? इसको जाने. See, who has to go? Those who are caught up in the bondage of Sattva, Raja and Tama. Hey, I want to go and have a darshan. I want to have the pilgrimage, I have to do something, रजोगुण आहे. Or who's indolent, एकदम शांत, काहीतरी नाहीच आहे, जावं बा तर त्यांना पण असं दिस such realized soul, there's no to need to go anywhere. है ना? So many Mahatmas are there. Okay, Sai Baba was one of them. He never left Shirdi, only he went.
Swami Swarupananda.
Swarupananda, Swami Swarupananda also there. So many saints are there, many are there. Manik Prabhu was there.
Tapon Maharaj.
Tapon Maharaj also is there. Okay, there are so many. You name. Because once you see, काय करणार, where you are going to go out and do what? जिथे क्या कुछ करने का, there is no provisions राहिलं नाही काय करायचं. There is no need to do anything. Why to unnecessarily roam out? And Sapon Maharaj's philosophy was, if anyone wants knowledge, let him come to me. I am not going to go to. मला गरज येते, मला कोणाची गरज नाहीये. I am happy with my own self. Just imagine to what extent does these saints have been realized. Imagine, what are these are all are काय म्हणतात pointers म्हणा किंवा म्हणतात रे, what do you call that, goal म्हणून किंवा काय, where we have to reach.
Destination, goal.
Destination goal, or there's some other word. Some other word is. But you have followed what and
Gantavya.
Destiny.
Benchmark. That there we have to reach. We know where we have to reach. Okay, continue. Yeah. For the first time.
For the first 5 months of his stay at Tiruvannamalai, he lived within the temple premises located at the foothills of Arunachala mountain. He would go into long periods of self absorption, samadhi. Later, he shifted to the place of the Bhu Samadhi, burial place of a noble soul, of a Mahatma, noble soul, and still later to a mango orchard. He lived in silence and solitude for years in two different caves of Arunachala, and the final years near the place of Bhu Samadhi of his mother. Bhagavan's mother was living with him from 1916 and had died in 1922. Shri Ramana Maharshi spent his early days at Tiruvannamalai in detachment, silence, and self inquiry. He was known as a man of severe penance, a saint, and a divine soul. Some believed him to be an incarnation. His fame spread far and wide, and people from all parts of India and foreign lands came to him and became his ardent devotees. Shri Ramana Maharshi has composed a few poems in Tamil. They show his literary skill, talent, and deep devotion, and reflect his vivid insight. His teaching is available in many other books like Ramana Gita, Talks with Ramana Maharshi, Sad Darshan, Discussions with Bhagavan, and the newsletters of Ramanashram. He had a good command over many languages and had translated his own Tamil compositions into Sanskrit, Malayalam, and Telugu. He was the very embodiment of divine virtues, and his life manifested them fully. To this day, he inspires lakhs of people irrespective of class, color, gender, and nationality.
Hmm. Okay. Hmm. So we are going to study something this is from directly from man of realization. Whatever it is. This is standpoint. And in that everything is covered. There are how many standards? 30. Not even 30.
30.
30. Slowly one by one you can take. Today we'll start with the introduction and let us see. Divya.
Introduction. Innumerable creatures live in this God created world. However, man alone is the roof and crown of creation. Being endowed with an intellect, he comprehends his present state of limitations, bondages, imperfections, and incompleteness. He is naturally inclined to free himself from them and attain completeness and perfection, and so strives hard to change the present. Wishing to transcend the mortal state of the body, he desires immortality. He wants complete knowledge and so wishes to get rid of all ignorance. He is perpetually in search for eternal happiness, in which there is not the slightest trace of sorrow and bondage, be it political, economic, social, or religious. In short, he desires and attempts to become a complete and free man. Sad indeed is his plight, as despite continuous and untiring efforts from the womb to the tomb, he is still bound, limited, struggling soul, unable to experience the joy of total freedom. On the other hand, he seems to experience greater bondage as a result of his efforts.
Yes. The difference between a layman and a saint is going here. What are we souls as a jivatmas doing? Constantly striving, working, doing something or the other, engrossed ourselves in the activities of Rajoguna, Tamoguna, or Sattva trying to seek happiness from each karma we do. Isn't it? Each activity of us is uh, directed towards happiness. We'll do this something so that we will be happy. I want to do attend a group so that I will be happy. I am going to do basically. We are striving. Why? What and what the subtle implication of it is that in the back of the mind, remember that there is a sense of incompleteness within us. पूर्णत्व नहीं है. If you have got a sense of completeness, you will never go anywhere. When there is some sense of incompleteness, we try to complete it by, for example, in a Sattva Guna time, by going to pilgrims, by going visiting Mahatmas, by going to some destinations, or going to a temple. Why? At least in that periphery or that some sort of completeness we hope to achieve. But alas, first time, second time, we might have got a glimpse of it. But once it becomes a routine, then that gravity is lost. There are so many people who go to Girnar. Yesterday, I met somebody who was going to go to. I mean, he's gone to Girnar 125 times, 125 times. Every Purnima goal. That is a part of his sadhana. Okay, I agree. But then what I thought is the intensity with which he went for the first, second, third time, that will not remain in the 125th time. That might not remain. I can't stamp and tell you, but that might not remain. But look at our saints, sir, who are there like Ramana Maharshi, who are this destined and who are stayed and living in the same place, happy, contented, and whatever, and wanting nothing. Why? Because through their introspection, detection, negation, substitution, then intellectually or meditation, they have comprehended the complete knowledge, and a perpetual eternal happiness. And also, what is said here is transcending the mortal state of the body. It is as important or immortality. Okay. And in this such persons, happiness without the slightest trace of any sorrow, bondage, political, economical, social, or religious. And they are free words. You can't keep them bound to you. Is it possible? No. Okay. Okay. And so let us see. This is just an introduction given. The main chapter will come. Continue the way. Anyone else in the book can continue, but otherwise they have actions.
I,
Yeah, got a book.
I'll read.
I read. Very good.
I'll read. I will.
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
Actions themselves.
because of this, because there is no light, I have switched off the video. That's the
No issues, no issues, no issues. Problem is what you have got a latest edition, and I have
I
got
have
a
got the old.
manual. So in that,
I have got the old.
the some sentences are different. Okay, don't everyone, but the gist
When
is the same.
did your reading, I could find out there is something
Yeah.
missing. Hmm.
Missing additional or adjusted. Anyway, read.
Actions themselves are limited, being within the framework of time and space. Their results can therefore never be unlimited or infinite and eternal. Hence, man cannot attain a state of completeness through actions despite sincere efforts. Then should he give up all efforts to liberate himself? Can he? He cannot. It is because no man can live happily in a state of finitude. Secondly, the desire to liberate himself from sorrows is inherent in him since birth. He does not initiate such a desire on a particular day in his life. The desire being natural, he cannot give it up at the same time. Actions are unable to fulfill it. The desire for infinite can only be fulfilled by gaining the infinite. But infinite cannot be the result of finite actions. Faced with this paradox, what should he do? The answer he found in Vedas.
Hmm. Yes. And you want something to be evident. If you want, I can explain. कुछ बोलने का है? Or you
Nine.
understood? नहीं, ठीक है. And you see,
Okay, I'll
basically,
continue.
he's saying that all actions, whatever actions you do, cannot give you permanent happiness. And do anything, take any action for that matter. You ride a bicycle, or go trekking, or do whatever you want. That happiness you should get is temporary. It will not remain permanent. And then what happens is that a person's mental attitude becomes very काय म्हणतात त्याला, restless. He tries to say that I'm trying to get happiness from all these things, but I'm unable to. From that frustration, depression, dejection, despondency, then negativity, dejection, he tries to find somewhere some source in which he can get happiness. And then if there is Isha Krupa, Atma Krupa, Guru Krupa, and what Shastra Krupa, then he comes across the scriptures on Mahatma. Then slowly that unfolds within. Okay, continue.
It is seen in nature that each thing remains in its inherently natural state. If such a state is somehow lost, it thrives continuously till the natural state is regained. Now, if a man is seen to be always attempting to free himself from these shackles of bondage, it must be because his inherent nature is free and complete. Freedom is freedom from limitations, which is completeness, that is infinite. The question arises now, if man is by nature infinite, why does he strive towards gaining infinitude?
This
What the-
question naturally arises in your mind. Na? If you are
Hmm.
complete by yourself, then why do we have to do all the works? Why do we do?
Hmm.
And,
One does not strive to gain the already gained. In case he does, the only reason for this could be ignorance.
mm,
Ignorance of the gained thing. Man strives to be complete and infinite due to ignorance of his true nature, and ignorance can only be removed by knowledge, not by actions. And knowledge can only be gained by a man of pure mind through a valid means of knowledge, pramana, Vedanta, or Upanishad.
mm. So that which misconception and misunderstanding which is there in each of us, that after doing some karma, some action, that we are going to be happy. Please remove it. Because see, the underlying statement which has given here is, by ignorance can only be removed by knowledge and not by actions. Whatever actions you do, ultimately you have to have that discriminatory factor and to see what is true and what is permanent and what is impermanent and ephemeral. Right? All things which are there in this world, which whatever actions you are doing, are one day going to cease. Okay? Job is there, one day you have to retire. It's natural. If you have got a child, one day he's going to get married. This is how, if you have got a daughter, one day she's going to go to marry, go to in-laws place. If you have got a body, one day I have to leave this body. See, these are what you say, the blunt
Part and parcel of all.
part of the person and blunt truth in life. If you accept it, there is no problem. If you don't accept it, then your blood pressure increases.
Hmm.
I tell you after. Anyway, continue. Uh, carry on.
Knowledge of one's own
Nature.
nature is called self-knowledge, gaining which man attains liberation and experience completeness, and without which, even if he strives day and night, he cannot rid himself of sorrows. Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi was such a man of knowledge. He composed the Upadesh Sara in Tamil on the request of the Tamil poet Shri
Murugadara.
Murugnara. The poet was writing a Puranic lore in verse form. The story runs as follows.
Hmm.
Certain ascetics were living in Charukavana. They were devout ritualistics and spent their time performing various rituals. They believed in the supremacy of actions in giving results. They were of the view that actions were independent in giving results and that the Lord had no role to play in that. Despite gaining many siddhis, yogic powers, they experienced a sense of incompleteness and dissatisfaction. Bhagwan Shiva, desiring to remove their delusion and sorrow by giving them self knowledge, appeared before them in guise of an extremely handsome young mendicant. The ascetics continued their rituals undisturbed, but their wives, infatuated by him, started following him. Enraged, they left their rituals and went in search of their wives. There, appear, there appeared before them Lord Vishnu as Mohini, the enchanting, deluding damsel. Charmed by her, they in turn followed her. When she disappeared, suddenly they realized that the young mendicant alone was behind this entire mischief. Through their yogic powers, they created various weapons and attacked the young mendicant in order to destroy him. The Lord of Yoga smiled on. Finally, it dawned upon them that the mendicant was none other than the Lord and took refuge at his feet. Even though the ascetics desired more siddhis, the Lord explained that the root of sorrow was not the lack of power, but the lack of self knowledge. The Lord thereafter imparted this knowledge to them. At this point, the poet Muruganara felt that he was not a fit person to write about knowledge that the Lord gave. He approached Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi, who thereafter composed the Upadesh Sara, the essence of self knowledge or Vedantic teaching. The Tamil compositions were later translated by him into Malayalam, Telugu, and Sanskrit.
Hmm. Isn't it? How Maya plays a word. Maya makes a monkey out of you. Huh? So everything is going on nicely. Suddenly, some useless thought picks up in the mind, some unnecessary desire comes in the mind, something happens, and you start behaving like monkeys. Like their wives went after that person, mendicant, and Rishis went after Mohin. Ultimately, both they came to know that behind everything was the Lord Shiva himself, or Lord himself, maybe Vishnu, whoever. And therefore, he approached Ramana Maharshi, the sage Mugrana, and told him to expound the essence of self knowledge, which he has done in this Upadesh Sara. Okay, Upadesh Sara is a short text, but it contains the highest knowledge. Bhagavan Raman Maharshi starts the text by remembering the Lord, the embodiment of auspiciousness. He goes on to prove that the Lord alone is the giver of fruits of action, karma phaladata, and thus removes the false notion of doership that man assumes onto himself and the delusion that actions are supreme and independent in giving results. है ना? See, it is not a crime or sin or something wrong that we feel that the actions give us the results of the actions or the fruits of the actions will give us happiness. It is a common thing which is there in 95-98% of the living human beings. ठीक है ना? See, each one of the person is on a different state, level, and for them, whichever, and for first rule before we start studying the Upadesh Saram is was whatever it is written there, please apply it to your own self. Don't apply it to somebody else. This is the universal law for all scriptures. For that sake, it is meant for me. It's not meant for my wife. काय होते उपदेश सार में काय म्हटले, रागवू नका, तुम्ही काय रागवता, असं नाही. It is meant for me, for my own upliftment, right? So then this whatever we want to study now, let us apply it in our own lives instead of trying to put it on somebody else's life and see how it is going. I told you, no, see, I told you it is written and so ये होगा. Don't do that. I mean, this is not a way. Let us apply it in our own life and let us see by the अभी कभी होगा तो होगा by about 3 months. August मध्ये होईल. If you have to see, we have just started it 15th of April. म्हणजे 15th today is what 20th. 5 days after his Mahasamadhi day. है ना? His Mahasamadhi day is what is it written?
Yes, 14th April.
For 14th April. So maybe on his birth anniversary will finish it. I don't know. Who? Read. This is I've taught you all the tune in Baliga, but for those who don't know, I'll just repeat and we'll follow the tune. Bharturajnaya prapyate phalam. Can you repeat it? It's possible.
Bharturajaya
प्राप्तया प्राप्यते फलम्
Bharturajnaya. Acha, don't worry. Though the person who want to read it will say it. But I'll just tell you the tune. Bharturajnaya prapyate phalam. Dharma kim param karma tajjadam. Then it becomes Krutimaho dadau patana karanam phalam shashvatam gati nirodhakam. Look at that. Okay? Read Ravi. Or Divya. Read Divya. Anyone else has a book, by the way? No, no? Achha, ठीक. पढ़ो.
By the command, according to the laws of the creator of the world, the Lord,
नहीं,
the fruits,
ये Divya, read that also. You got that? Kartu
yes,
is of the doer, creator.
okay. Kartuhu of the doer, creator, Agyaya by the command, Prapyate is gained, Phalam the fruit of action, Karma action, Kim how is it, Param supreme independent, Karma action, Tat that, Jadam asti is inert. By the command, according to the laws of the creator of the world, the Lord, the fruits of action are gained. Then how is the action the
Lock हो गए हो because of the thunderstorm. हाँ, बोल रहे. जोर से हो गया, मालूम क्या रही राजू? हार्ड करके.
अच्छा.
दिव्या का आवाज ही बंद कर दिया उसने. Read. By the command. By the command.
By the command, according to the laws of the creator of the world, the Lord, the fruits of action are gained. Then how is action the supreme reality? It is not, since that action is inert. We commonly think that man, prompted by his desires, performs actions with the help of instruments of action to gain the desired results. For example, the farmer by
This is a
plowing the
very good
land.
example.
Huh.
Very good example. Remember,
Okay.
all of you.
For example, the farmer by plowing the land with the plow and many other related actions finally obtains crops. As we sow, so we reap. The Lord has no role to play in this. We perform actions and thereby gain results. The Lord is not required to do so. Is our belief true? It is not. Let us inquire.
You know, it's simple thing. What he's saying is, by the command. I'm just reading the translation. By the command, according to laws of the creator of the world, of the Lord, the fruits of actions are gained. Then how is it that all supremacy reality, that action is inert? Because what he's saying, that whatever actions are done, they are inert. They are no standing of their own. Okay, how is it? Now still, let us see the next paragraph. It's self-evident. Read. Divya is back.
Sorry, sir, वो network
हाँ
गया
अभी
था.
जोर से थंडर स्टॉर्म हो गया है ना, तेरा आवाज भी गायब होगा उसमें. हाँ. Three
Three
factors.
Any action. The doer of action, karta, the instrument of action, and the act itself, kriya. None of
कारण
them.
का कर्म लिहिलंय. What is
मेरे
it
को
अभी?
हाँ,
कर्म है ना?
करण,
मेरे में कर्म है. ओके ठीक है.
करण.
अच्छा ठीक.
So, yeah. None of them can independently produce the result. The plow cannot plow without a farmer. The hand cannot write without a writer. Action has no existence apart from the doer of action, and no result is possible without an action being performed. A tree cannot grow without a seed being sown. However, the doer of action, Jiva, alone cannot create the result of action since he is himself conditioned by factors like time, space, and laws of nature. The farmer, despite plowing the land and sowing the grains, has to wait for the required time and depend on the rains and many other factors in order to reap a good harvest.
बस काय रे गौरा का सारखं ते दारू तुम्हाला डिस्टर्ब होतो. The three factors are necessary for gaining the fruits of actions. The doer म्हणजे काय, the मी करणारा करता, the instrument of action. What is the instrument of action? This body. And the act itself. What is the act? Of scolding. Three requires karta, karna, and kriya. And none of them independent can produce a result. Can a karta alone can produce a result? No. Can a karna instrument by itself produce a result? No. Can the act itself, kriya, can produce a result? No. He has given the example. The hand cannot write without a writer. Action has no existence apart from the doer of the action, and no result is possible without an action being performed. The farmer, after doing everything, still one factor of rain, when it has to fall, it is in the hand of the Lord. That is what is said. Continue. Ravi, what? And फिर हम मकान पढ़ेंगे. Yet again. मकान पढ़ो.
Yes. Okay. Yet again, if the jiva is independent in creating results, then none would get undesired results. We would always get what we want since we always do actions with an aim of getting desired results. But such is not the case. It is thus proved that there is a factor other than the individual which is responsible for the results. This factor is called Ishvara, the Lord, in Vedanta. This is said by Sri Ramana Maharishi also. By the command of the Lord, the results of the actions are obtained.
See, knowingly, unknowingly, purposefully, or coincidentally, we are coming again to Narak Bhakti Sutra. Actions are done, but ultimate fruit of the actions remains with the Lord. I can do any action which I want. कुछ भी करो, but what fruit to give ultimately is in the hand of the Lord, isn't it? A batsman has practiced for years, days, months, hours together. But on that particular day, his luck is such that the ball bouncing on the stone, it hits, touches his bat and goes in the slips and is out. And the other person, he also he is just coming casual playing. Wherever it is, the fielder is not there, he doesn't become out. Then see, there are ultimately that doesn't mean that you should take a life on chances. It's not that. That lies Gurudev says, do the best and leave the rest. I should do my best, whatever it is possible with me, possible from my side, and then leave the rest. But then there are so many factors. In spite of doing meritorious deeds, पुण्य कर्म जरी करत असलं तर त्या पुण्य कर्मातनं पण कधी कधी त्रास होतो आपल्याला. होतो की नाही? काहीतरी होतो, कुठलाही त्रास. आणि ह्याला माया म्हटले. आणि ज्या व्यक्तीने मायेला ओळखलंय त्याने ईश्वराला ओळखलं. किंवा उलट आहे, ज्या व्यक्तीने ईश्वराला ओळखले त्याला माया त्रास देत नाही. What is Maya? That which is not there, we suppose that it is there, and we seek happiness, and that is Maya. That which is not there, again I am repeating, जी नाही आहे आणि त्याच्यात आपण सगळं बघतो, सुख बघतो, आनंद बघतो, अजून काय बघतो, समाधान बघतो, त्याच्यात नाहीच आहे, पण त्याला माया म्हटलंय. किंवा रामचरित मानस म्हटलं, मैं और मोर तोरत है माया, मैं और मेरा तो और तेरा, that is Maya. What is Maya? That is, and we inadvertently or purposely we fall in that trap. And then when you do the actions, 90% of the actions we were not satisfied. And actions include your right from your household work to your office work, right from your spiritual sadhana to your study group. Everything is included. Sometimes when attending a group, our mind is not basically, it is all the play of the mind. Once that mind comes under our control and we know what we are seeking, and this mind is like a monkey constantly coming and troubling me, or my mind is just correlated to the Maya, which is coming and always coming and troubling me, then that knack of keeping that mind in our control, you will get it. Just try this exercise whenever you get time next week. Whenever you feel like doing something wrong, like when you feel scolding your son, you feel scolding your maid, or you feel like giving abusing the traffic when you're traveling, just for a moment pause and just forget it, and don't do that. Just be a witness for that particular moment. The moment you become a witness to that, what is happening in your mind, that vritti or that thought immediately dissolves or just ends. It will not be that. It will not be with that same intensity. Therefore, one Mahatma told, it was in a Brahmachari group. What happens when you join the Brahmachari course, there are 30-40 people, and to stay with those 30-40 people for days together without being exposed to the world, outside world, then that Maya or that those vasanas or that those things in an individual come to the come forth, and then all this complaining starts. So one of the acharyas, what did they tell him? I know you have got many complaints against of element. Do one thing, sir. You write them today night when you go.